activities. I think it's important to have a variety of experiences, not just perfect settings and glamorous backgrounds. We did go to very special dances, but we were fortunate to be involved in very similar interests. And I had a chance to see how he accepted responsibility, how he reacted to assignments, how he responded when there were periods of stress. I thought it was interesting. I was the Ward Young Women's president, and at that time there were still road shows, and our ward put on road show. I watched how hard they worked actually creating the idea for the road show, and then bless his heart, staying when everybody else went home to clean up. Now, to me, that was a sign of character, and I thought that was a pretty good indication of the kind of person he was. I also saw how he treated other people, but I also learned an important lesson, and it was to be yourself. You may have been aware that Dave, as friendly as he was, kept dating my roommates. At one point in our friendship, I was living in a small garden cottage with 3 other friends, since I wanted to be more independent. Well, whenever I answered the phone, I was never sure who he was going to ask out on a date, and this became kind of frustrating for me. In particular, one roommate was a wonderful tennis player. Dave was a natural athlete, and of course having somebody who was a tennis player appealed to him. I kept thinking, well, maybe I should learn to play tennis. Bad idea. It was a complete disaster. I could not hit the ball. My wrists were not strong. I even paid for lessons. I became so frustrated, I thought, if you can't like me without being a tennis player, too bad. So I realized, be yourself. Don't try and impress someone just to appeal to their interests. You probably may remember also that I got so frustrated at the point of answering the phone and not being sure he was going to ask out on a date that I finally had enough. Because he was an art student, he'd given me a lot of jewelry. And so I boxed up his jewelry, marched down to his rooming house, because it was just down the street from the cottage where we lived, left it on the front porch with a note saying, if you can't figure out who you want to date, I'm tired of this. And so we broke up. This was at the end of the spring semester. During the summer, we didn't make any contact. When the fall semester started, I was working on campus at the time because I had graduated. There was an open-air dance area that was much in demand. It was called Larkspur. It was in Marin County, and it was really a fun place. You had to take a ferry boat to get there. It was an open-air dance. I went with a young man named Harold Delamar. Dave arrived at the same dance at the same time with a woman named Carolyn Johnson. Interesting. After that dance, we got back together. Even more interesting, Harold married Carolyn. So it was a unique opportunity. During the time that we dated, you asked what kind of dates we went on. Most of them were involved with school activities, and one of them, of course, since he was attending art school, was the artist ball. And actually, it was an underwater theme, and so we went as sharks. So I have a picture of both of us wearing a shark outfit. So our dates were quite unique. When it came time to become engaged, I think it's interesting now that so many elaborate plans go into asking someone to marry them. We had come home from a date, and we were on the second step of my parents' crack on home. I would periodically come home from our little garden cottage that I shared with my friends, primarily to do washing. This is what people do with parents. As I was preparing to go in, he asked, just out of the blue, if I would marry him. Most couples talk about marriage. We absolutely had never discussed it. So I was completely taken aback. And my response was, I'm going to have to think about this. And so that's where we left it. I went in the house, woke up my parents, and said, Dave asked me to marry him. What do you think? My parents, of course, thinking they were finally going to get rid of me. I'm sure they loved Dave, were happy. But because we had never talked about this, I was really surprised. It took me a few days to kind of put this together, and finally the next time we got together, I had this confirmation, especially from my first impression, that yes, this was right. Of course, the next step was the engagement ring, and family knows this story. When he presented me with the engagement ring, it was in a raisin box. You think that was foreshadowing. Anyway, when I opened it up, I think it was a look of shock. I was not used to the kind of artwork that Dave had been involved in with his jewelry class. Dave's father, the first time he saw the ring, said, Bud, why did you step on it? This perhaps give you an idea. Something the family probably isn't aware of. The first version of this ring was quite a bit larger than the one that ended up. And so it really was startling to me. A few days after I received the ring, I called Dave up and I said, we really have to talk about this engagement. And when we met the next time, his face was white, and he was really nervous because he thought I was going to call off the engagement. And I said, no, that's not it. It's just this ring. It's just really hard for me to get used to. It's too big, and I don't know what to make of it. So he redid the ring, and at that point, I really liked it, although, as you can imagine, my friends would say, oh, you've got to see Donna's ring. It's really different. And, of course, I knew what they meant. But I ended up loving